Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jeremy Scott Fitness Podcast, a radio show coming to you on this Saturday, August the 1st, 2020. Time seems to be going quick, and then other days it seems to be going ridiculously slow, depending on how you're feeling and what you are looking at in terms of your life at the moment in the season we're all in. It's kind of like time, right? Like if you're a snooze person, you hit the snooze, that 5 minutes feels like 5 seconds, but if you're pushing a sled, that 5 minutes seems like 5 hours. I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. I'm like in this twilight zone of shit where sometimes it goes quick and sometimes I'm like, man, can we ever get to the next phase, if you will? But I'm going to touch on 12 steps to self-care today. This is my wife shot me over a little infographic with a bunch of things on it. I thought I would do an episode quickly for you guys on that. But before I jump into today, this podcast episode is brought to you by my homies at Athletic Greens. Again, you guys already know it's the one supplement I take every single day. I never miss it. It is just packed with micronutrients. If you're trying to be as healthy as possible, I don't see why you wouldn't throw this into your day. And it's the best tasting greens on the planet by far. It's not even debatable. If there was something else that tastes better and had even remotely close to the micros, I probably would jump on the train, but there is not. For you guys want to know, it's obviously GMO free, no herbicides, no pesticides, no artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, or sweeteners. There is no gluten, no dairy, no corn, eggs, peanuts, no animal byproducts, no lactose, no sucrose, no dextrose. It is very lifestyle friendly for all of you listening, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, paleo, keto, whole 10, low carb, whatever you're into, it fits. So if you guys want to try, hit me up. I'm happy to send you the link for 20 free travel packs on me. Otherwise, if you're really on the fence and you're unsure, I'll have Monica actually ship you a pack right to your front door. Then you can try it. And then if you want to jump on the 20 free travel packs, you can hit me up. I'm happy to send you the link. It's athleticgreens.com/Jeremy Scott. Always and forever, I'm there to hook you guys up. So I wouldn't talk about it so much. I wouldn't take it every single day if it wasn't really good for me, because if you can't tell, I give a shit about the stuff I put into my body. So that is where we're at today. Outside of this podcast episode, what do I got going on here? Gyms are still closed in Arizona, so that's fun. Not. And our 47-day transformation, which is our flagship program, is kicking off here in 14 days, 5 hours. If you guys are interested, I can probably hook you up with a little bit of a podcast discount code to make it easier for you if you want to join. It's the same badass program it's always been, with the additions of, we did an updated kitchen tour, and we actually have you working out 5 days per week. So it's like 3 kind of metcons, like little metabolic sessions. Some of them are HIIT focused. And then there's 2 days of specific loading in there, all upper body focused, all lower body focused. We did a couple different series in there, some AMRAPs, and then some interval sets, which does make the program very dynamic. But beyond that, this program is much more than just fitness and nutrition. The personal development piece in there is huge. So we really touch on all the pillars of fitness. It's the thing I'm the most proud of in terms of online offering, in terms of a collective program to touch all the points and give people what they need. I think now more than ever, honestly, it's the most vital thing anybody can do to not just put your body in a great space, but to mentally put you in a good headspace to kind of wade through the shit, regardless of what you're dealing with. If this pandemic and season of life was crazy hard on you, easy on you, if you're struggling every day mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, this program would be, I would think, the best remedy for that. So if you're interested, 47daytransformation.com, it's going down. So with that said, today's podcast episode, we are talking 12 steps to self-care. Reminder, all you guys on YouTube, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Jeremy Scott Fitness YouTube channel, 100% for free. We're throwing tons and tons of content on there. My gift to everybody out there. So when we're talking the 12 steps to self-care, obviously this has been a unique season of life for all of us. I talk with people in our programs here. Some of them, it really didn't affect their life much at all, other than having to stay home a little bit and maybe doing some social things differently, but their careers, everything just rolled. And some people I know are busier than ever. Some people I know are making more money than ever. And then you have a lot of friends of mine in the fitness industry who have been completely crushed by this. Their businesses are on life support. This week I read in a group 3 businesses that are completely just dead, because I think one of them, they were in Michigan and the gym's been closed for 4.5 months straight. They haven't been open one day, and they're asking how to get out of their lease, which they still had 1.5 years on. They don't want to declare bankruptcy. So there is a lot of that shit going on, which is, it's gut wrenching to see, because it's not their fault. It's obviously there's a health crisis, but then it's our reaction to that basically forced them out of business. And for a lot of people out there who listen, and I would read comments early on in this, but people say, well, I don't see how this business doesn't have a month of retained earnings. And I hear you there, but then to expect like a big business or a small business to go on for 5 months without income is fucking lunacy. Like you have to be insane to think that a business could sustain that. Like a Target can't fucking do that. Like a Lowe's can't do that. But yet you're asking, Sherry's gym down the street to do that for 5 months. It's impossible. And anybody commenting otherwise has never ran a business, has never been in the business game, has never been part of something to understand it at the very functional base level. Like they just can't be done. So for those guys, obviously their lives have been impacted like crazy. If you're in the airlines, if you're in the hotels, Joe DeCerna, who is running the Spartan race stuff, I mean, they haven't been able to run a race the entire year. So there's a lot of effects here. And the reason I bring that up is not to complain, and want you to feel bad for people. I think most people who are listening to us here are smarter than I would consider the average person. So you guys, can kind of see, it's not just black and white. It isn't just this binary thing. There's a lot of gray in between all this. And for a lot of people, this has affected them on an emotional level and on a mental health level like crazy. And that's why I want to talk about the self-care stuff, because I do think it's important for this season of life and every season of life moving forward. And you just have to be able to pivot and do the best you can with what you got in your situation, and not romanticize like what you wanted it to be or what it was. You just kind of have to, navigate the shit right now as best you can and take care of yourself. I've been a proponent of the put your mask on first, no pun intended, before anybody else. I believe that. Like you have to take care of number one before you can take care of 10 other people. And you have to do what you feel is best. And you can't be doing things that go against the grain of what you innately feel deep down in your core. I think that's a huge part of self-care. And that goes with all the pillars. And that's why we coach fitness here. It's why our 47-day transformation is built the way it is. It's physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. Those are the 4 pillars of fitness, and that's what we attack in that program. But in that program directly, quickly, but in everything we do, it's what we do here. It's the podcasts we make, it's the quotes we share, it's down to the fucking t-shirts that we're putting out. They all come down to putting yourself in a good position to be healthy, both physically and mentally. And then the spiritual and emotional is obviously connected to that. So the first step here in the self-care, number 1 is, if it feels wrong, don't do it. If it feels innately wrong to you, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Now, I have to do everything with an asterisk here, just for the fact of, if you are living in fear, if you are being influenced by a bunch of drama and negative horse shit from the outside world or friends or family or news or something, you have to just step back and you have to put a lot of that stuff to the side, and you have to ask yourself what you feel is right and what you feel is wrong, and then make the decision from there. I've heard so many people over the last 4 months, 5 months, say things and share phrases that they're literally parroting what the news headlines are. They're literally parroting what they read somebody else say or somebody else share. They have not had an original thought or an idea on any of the things that are going on, but yes, they're just parroting the same stuff over and over and over again. They've adopted somebody or some entity as their religion or their truth, and they're just spitting out stuff that they've never said before. And so that's what I mean when you're making decisions about your life, what you should do for your career or your next career, where you should live, or how you should attack your health and your nutrition. If it feels wrong, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Most of us, trust yourself. Unless yourself sucks, then obviously don't. But if you have a decent North Star and you're guided by the right things, most of us know what is right and what is wrong. We have this, it's inside your body. You know if you're doing something right, you know if you're doing something wrong. Even if you walk into a room and you make the wrong choice, you know if it's right or wrong. Like for the average person, if you walk into a room and your friend's got 10 pounds of cocaine on the table, you know it's wrong. Whether you stay there and do a bunch of blow with your homie and you have a party like you're George Young, that's up to you. Like, I'm not gonna judge, but you walk in, you know that's wrong. And hey, if I stay here, I'm probably gonna get in trouble. So the first thing to self-care, you guys, if it feels wrong, don't do it. If you feel weird about drinking 10 beers on a Wednesday night just to go to sleep because you're so stressed and you're so wound up, you probably shouldn't be doing that. If it feels wrong that you're taking prescription drugs and you really don't need them, you probably shouldn't be doing it. If it feels wrong, don't do it. You can't, again, and I know everybody's in a different boat and situation and scenario, but this, a lot of people right now are turning to, drugs and alcohol and pharmaceuticals as an answer to a problem. And if that feels wrong to you on some core level, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Number 2, say exactly what you mean. This is a dangerous rope you're walking on here. I'm a big believer, in speaking your truth and sharing an educated opinion about what you feel is best for you. But just know when you're speaking with people, certain people you can be real with, and certain people you got to talk with padded gloves on, and some people it's not worth the argument. But I am a big believer in saying exactly what you mean, not tiptoeing around stuff, not bullshitting people, just being completely transparent on who you are and what your belief system is. And then having enough, self-awareness to ask questions and receive feedback. But you should say exactly what you mean to people. If you love somebody, tell them, If you miss somebody, tell them. If somebody pissed you off or they hurt your feelings or they're doing things that make you feel a certain way, I think that should be a conversation and dialogue you can have. With the asterisk of, there are certain, friends or family members that have certain beliefs about politics, about religion, about how we are going about this, season of life and pandemic in general. And not that I wouldn't say exactly what I mean to them, but sometimes things are better left unsaid. There's certain arguments that I'm not willing to have. There's certain conversations that I'm not going to get into because I'm not going to change people's minds. And I have no interest in that. If somebody asks me openly, Jeremy, what do you think and how do you feel? I'm happy to share that from my standpoint and my point of view. But I'm not going to openly just throw comments in the comment section on like Facebook or somewhere just to, stir the pot. I don't feel any need for that. But I'm also not going to shy away from it. I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to bullshit people. So I'm going to say exactly what I mean. I just choose to communicate with people who can handle what they're asking for, and surround myself with positive humans, which we'll talk to in a little bit. But I do think, speaking your truth and saying exactly what you mean is a great quality for life, not just for now, but for forever. And I do think the people who do tend to be more honest in their personal life and professional life tend to be the healthiest and also the happiest. Number 3, don't be a people pleaser, man. Do not do that. I don't think I'm guilty of this. I would guess I'm probably more guilty of being a people pisser offer, if that's a thing. In all reality, there's a lot of people, and again, this comes down to taking care of yourself first. If you're always trying to please others, that's great if it makes you happy and really lights you up. But if you're pleasing other people, your kids, your husband, your wife, your boss, all the people you serve, and if it's coming at the expense of you, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't, man. Like, you can't put everybody else before you. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for depression, for having breakdowns and just being in a mentally shitty space, because you can't just always pour out and out and out. You can't let everybody be an energy suck and a vampire suck on you, because they're gonna bleed you dry, man. There's only so much water in your fountain. people have to pour back into it. And so you can help others, but you can't do things just to satisfy them and their needs and their wants and their egos. And obviously we work in the service business here, and I can't please everybody. There, especially now with the restrictions and the decisions that we have to make and how I have to best spend my time, both to weigh what's going to help the most amount of people, what's going to be the most beneficial to everybody, but also to me, what's going to make the most money and help the most people at the same time. There's a lot of those decisions, and if I did everything just to please others, it would run me into the fucking dirt. I can't please every single person in Scottsdale in our community and touch everybody online who is in our coaching groups and our clients and athletes, and then all the other free shit we do. It would be impossible. So I pick my spots. I do certain things to please others, the ones that selfishly pay me back in adoration, and then obviously some of them are monetary, but I don't try to please every single person. And I go as far as that for my wife too. There'll be certain things she asks me, I gotta say no. And some things I gotta say yes. Some things we have to delay or put off or shift or flow. I try to make her as happy as I can, but I can't sacrifice my own internal happiness just to make everybody else happy, because then I'll be miserable. And then what's it really worth, right? Like, if you're not happy in your own life, what the hell is this even about? If we're not happy being here every single day, or at least most days, or finding happiness and fulfillment in each day, what the fuck are we even doing here? So don't be a people pleaser. Number 4, trust your instincts, which connects to, if it feels wrong, don't do it. But most of us inherently know what we should or shouldn't be doing. Most of us inherently know what guides us and what drives us, but yet we're influenced by the outside world. We're influenced by society and marketing and all the things that are going on out there. We forget what our North Star is. We forget what truly lights us up, what truly makes us happy, which truly makes us fulfilled. I speak with people who change their goals every other week based on who they hang out with, based on what they watch on TV, based on the Instagram feed they are following, based on the videos they're watching, based on the podcasts they listen to. And they're not trusting their instincts in reverse engineering when they're their most fulfilled and happiest. They're going by what I guess is against the grain of their natural thought process and feeling process. And when you're younger, I think you do that more often. I think the older you get, the less fucks you give, hopefully. And you start to really understand who you are. And again, a lot of these are tied to self-awareness. And I think, one of the steps of self-care, which is not going to be listed here as like an actual step, is you have to have a certain level of self-awareness and know who you are and know what makes you happy. And I mean just you, not for everybody else, not for feedback, not because your friends and family will think it's cool or neat or give you some likes or follows or give you some bullshit, adoration. What really makes you happy, the things that you would do if nobody was watching, the things that you truly enjoy. And that comes down to you. And I use my wife as the example because obviously I've lived with her for 12 years now. And as she's gotten older, she's comes into her own, and more so probably in the last 12 months than ever before. I think that comes with age and maturity and experience, and having things taken away from you and being able to see things from the other side of the fence, if you will. And what I mean is, she used to be influenced every other week. I want this and this and this, and then you see what would make her most happiest, and it wouldn't be any of the things she would mention. And having the self-awareness I do, I'm not trying to jump into the lion's den and get eaten up in the comments with her, but I just let it kind of happen over time. And then as she getting older, she's started to trust her instincts and know, like, okay, when I'm in nature, I'm the happiest. When I'm hiking, I'm my happiest. When I'm exercising with my friends, when I'm giving back to community, when I'm doing things where I feel like I have purpose, I feel my best. And the instinct shifted away from, I'm chasing just material status and stuff. And a lot of people are in that boat. And there's nothing wrong with material status and stuff, but there's inner fulfillment for most of us tied to our instinct to be able to produce, to create, to give back. And not everybody, but I am my happiest when I trust my instincts of what I'm supposed to do. Now, there's a lot of things we could do here to make money that I don't do, because it's like, I don't feel it's the correct thing to do with either my time or my gifts or my talents, however I look at it. So I do think trusting your instincts in life is probably key. Unless your instincts have led you into jail or prison or waking up in random rooms you don't remember how you got there, or just if your instincts are terrible and it's just led you, down a really shitty path, maybe not you, but everybody else, I think inherently you're born with a decent set of those inside your body. Number 5, never speak bad about yourself. This is a good one. I'm guilty of doing this for sure. I do it partially, and again, Ian brought it up on the podcast, the original Burning Man himself. I'll sometimes talk shit about myself, just in a half jokingly, half serious way, just for the fact of, obviously, this entire business is built around my name. It's Jeremy Scott Fitness on, the door, on top of the building. It's on the t-shirt I wear. It's on all the wristbands. Everything we do is my name. And so from the outside, I think it looks very egocentric. Well, Jeremy thinks he's the shit, so he built the business around just his name. And it's not true. I started this when I was a young kid and I had no clue what the fuck I'm doing. I still really don't. But I never would have made it that way if I knew this is the responsibilities I would have had. Although I'm very thankful that I have, because it's afforded me to live a life and see things and do things and meet people and be on platforms that very few humans ever could. So I'm appreciative of that. The reason I share that is because it looks like, oh, well, Jeremy only wants it to be about him, and it's not. This business is not about me, it's about everybody else. And so sometimes I will talk shit about myself, so I don't look like such a, egotistically conceited asshole, which I don't believe I am. At 17 or 18 for sure. Now I don't care about the adoration. I don't care about those things. It's not, if this was a different name and we could still help the same people, I'd be happy to do it. But sometimes I'll say, I'm not, that smart. And IQ wise, I don't think I am. I don't think that's, necessarily me speaking bad about myself, but, emotional intelligence, I do think I have something there, but IQ wise, I don't think I'm the smartest dude in the world. I had to try really hard in school. I got really good grades in college, cum laude graduate, shout out. But, I cheated too, a little bit. And I studied my ass off, like a lot. I could memorize it crazy, but it was hard to do. So when I say I'm not that smart, a lot of you guys listening, out there are smarter than me. I believe that. And there's a lot of areas of your life that you're way smarter than I am. But it's probably not a healthy practice, because if you do say that, enough, I do think there is some subconscious damage there that goes on, and you tend to believe that, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm going to fail. And when we do that, we paint ourselves into a corner. And that's why I don't want any of you guys to do that, because you are smart enough, you are talented enough, you are gifted enough, you do have enough resources if you're willing to put in the work. There's certain things all of us, can or can't do. But if you're negatively always filling your head full of shit, you're gonna start to believe it at some point. Even if you say it half jokingly, if you say it enough, I think it's gonna affect you on some level. So I would urge all of you guys out there not to speak poorly about yourself. And you're not great at something, don't say I suck at something, I'm terrible at something, I'll never do it. You could say, I'm maybe not where I wanna be today, but I can get there if I work my ass off. And I'll say this, I've learned a lot. And when I say, smart, I'm using in the terms of naturally good at math or naturally good at science. I'm not naturally good at those things, but I've learned a lot of shit over the years because I listen to about 100 audiobooks per year. So even me and my primitive, chimp brain in my head, I learn a ton of shit. And I've gotten to hang out with the smartest humans ever. So it's been great for me personally. But again, I do sometimes talk a little shit about myself, just like all of us. And so if you're doing that out there, please stop doing it. You guys are badasses, even if you don't know it yet. Number 6, never give up on your dreams. Unless your dreams suck, then you can let them go. In all seriousness, I wouldn't want people to quit on dreams if they're really their dreams. I guess that's why I've laced in self-awareness into this episode so many times, just because I think a lot of dreams we have are not really our dreams. And I'm generalizing here, but I've talked to thousands of people over the past decade plus, and I found that to be true. And what I mean is, people say, oh, this is my dream house, this is my dream car, and they say that at 27. And that shit is not the same. at 37 or 47 or 57. And it might be in that season of life, but it's not your dream. And even when, with that context, say this is my dream house, that's your dream. Like when you were 12, you dreamed about a backsplash, you dreamed about countertops, you dreamed about, and if you're Joanna Gaines, maybe you did. You know, you're Martha Stewart, maybe you did. But I don't think that's really our dreams, right? Like, and again, I'm a very primitive human. I look at my house and I love it. My wife's made it look super cute. You know, thankfully we own it and it's all great, and I'm super blessed beyond anything, you know, my ghetto ass ever could have imagined, just because I never thought I would own a home outright, let alone live in one that has a pool in a destination like Scottsdale. I feel like I won the lottery, and if that's the nicest place I ever live, like, cool. Like I'm totally happy with that. But I wouldn't say it was my dream. Like that, it's just a box with a cover on it. It's got walls, it's got a cover. You know, my wife makes it look, you know, cute, if you will, or what is the word she uses? Trendy or chic, or what is the, I'm trying to think, like bohemian. She says all these fancy words. I get them confused. I don't know. My house looks like Crate and Barrel. If that gives you any idea. But the point I'm driving at is that it wasn't a dream for me. It's just a house, the box with a cover. My dreams are different than that. My dreams are to help people. You know, my dream is to see all these places in the world, which, you know, hopefully when this is over, we can all do that again. My wife and I have been very blessed to go to some of the nicest places on earth. Like I've stood in the Coliseum. I've stood in the Coliseum. Like I've been down the Amalfi Coast, like Positano. Like when you look at it, like on photos, it looks just like that. I've been to Bora Bora. It's amazing. Like I walked the beaches of Barcelona. Like we've been to all these super amazing, dope places, like these bucket list places that most humans never get to go to. Like I feel those are dreams of mine, and among other things. But I would urge you, if you have real dreams and you know what they are, don't give up on them just because times get tough or you're in a shitty season of life right now. And a lot of people are going to do that because it'd be easier to shift gears and go in a different direction right now in the short term, but not in the long term. And so if you have a dream, like you really want to be your own boss, you really want to start a business, I would urge you to keep pushing towards that. Now there's ways to be a reluctant entrepreneur, and there's times where you can take a big jump or take one step back and two steps forward. So this might not be the perfect day to, like, you know, quit your corporate job and then open up a business that's not allowed to be open, like if you're here especially. But if it's a dream of yours, don't quit on it. You can, I don't want to say pause it, that's not the right word. You can slow down the progress towards it and work on the things you can work on in the season of life you're in, but don't give up on them. And if your dream is still to, you know, go to Italy and eat the dopest pizza, you know, in Sorrento at, like, you know, Franco's, like, then go do that. Like, I would never tell you to give up on that. Now, it might not happen in the next 6 months, but it can still happen. If your dream is to write a book or to start a family or to whatever your dream is, don't give up on it just because it's hard and just because things haven't happened as quickly as you wanted them to. Because a lot of the things that are happening for me today are only possible because of the stuff I did 10 years ago. Because without the years before, I wouldn't be sitting here today. Without the work that I put in 6 years ago, this podcast wouldn't be possible, or at least 1% of you would be listening to it or hearing it. If I would have quit 50 times along the way, none of this stuff would have came to life. But my dream was to, hey, you know, how can I be financially independent? How can I be my own boss? How can I, you know, one day just be a part. When I say that, I mean like a part, like not be part of the system. And I've been successful in doing that. And was it easy? Fuck no. Did I want to quit? Yeah, like 800 times along the way. I probably wanted to quit 10 times 2 weeks ago. But I didn't. And I just kept it going because I'm like, well, if I can do this and if I can just keep putting in the work, I know even if 14 shitty breaks happen, albeit a pandemic, I'm still going to get some good breaks. I'm still going to be able to do things and shift and pivot, and I can keep my dream alive and I can keep chasing other dreams. So it's not ideal right now. Obviously, if you're, you know, a dude like me, you're a gym owner. Yes, we have this amazing online platform and work with people all over the world. I'm very happy we're able to do that. That's probably why I'm so tired right now and I'm just rambling on, because like we've been filming videos all week and all week and all week because that's the only thing I can do in the moment. But, and again, I could live a great life just doing that, but I want to be here. I wouldn't have bought this building if I didn't want to hang out with my friends and train here. That's why the fuck I bought it, because I want to do it. But that was one of my dreams. Like, can I own a piece of real estate, in Scottsdale that's, commercial based, like for a business, or apparently now it's just a fancy man cave where we can, drink whiskey and podcast and get badass workouts in by myself. But eventually, everybody will come back. But that was a dream of mine. And if I didn't work my face off, and if I would have quit when roadblocks came my way over the past 10 years, I wouldn't be sitting here. You guys wouldn't be hearing me. You'd have never have heard us. You would never see all the awesome, what I consider awesome, free shit we put out. And that's why dreams are bigger than just the end goal. It's part of the process, and it has to be something that you care about so much you'll do damn near anything to keep it going. That's why I say a lot of times it's not just a car. I'm not going to wake up every day just to buy a fucking car. That's me though. I'm not judging anybody else. I'm not going to wake up every day just to live in a house that's a certain style. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not judging anybody who does. That's fine if you do. But for me, I'm like, well, how can I do this to where I can help as many people as humanly possible? That was my dream. And I'll do damn near anything, short of probably dying, to keep it going. So here I am on a Saturday, keeping it going. Next one, number 7. Don't be afraid to say no. This is a big one for a lot of you guys. This ties into the people pleasers. Don't be afraid to say no to people, especially if your goals don't align with their goals. If you're trying to do something with your physical body and they want you to every happy hour, it's okay to say no. If they want you to come to every dinner, it's okay to say no. If you go to family functions and you have a family that meets multiple times and they always eat like shit and drink like shit, it's okay to say no. You can go, and if you can, survive it and make the best food choices and drinking choices, but just say no if they want you to do all the same shit you've always done. Because if you keep eating and drinking the same way you've been eating and drinking, the results will be the same. You're gonna really struggle to make any progress if you make progress at all. And so it's okay to say no to people. It's okay to say no, I need to stay in. It's okay to say no, I have to do this for me. And no, I need some me time. No, I need to work out right now. No, I need to read a book. No, I need to further my education. No, I need to skip that event because I'm gonna try to save money for fill in the blank. So you can't be afraid to say no if you really want to take care of yourself. Which leads me to number 8. Don't be afraid to say yes either. Don't live in fear. Don't shoot everything down. Listen when people offer you experiences and opportunities, and don't be afraid to say yes to them. Even if it might not fit your schedule perfect, even if it might not be exactly what you're looking to do, even if you're unsure slightly, but it might seem exciting, but it might not be. Don't be afraid to say yes to just living your life. There's a lot of things that my wife has asked me to do that I probably was unsure about at some point, but I wasn't afraid to say yes, and I just said yes. And then I find out some things suck and I don't want to do them anymore. And then some I say yes. I'm like, you know what? I really have fun doing that. That's something that I really enjoy and you enjoy and we enjoy it together, and it's a great experience. And so you can't be afraid to agree to things and understand that sometimes other people have great ideas and sometimes other people have ideas that are way better than yours. And again, sometimes people have terrible ideas, so you say no to those and you say yes to the correct ones. And all it is you give it a chance. And what I say of most things in life is I'm willing to try most things once. I don't want to say everything because there's a lot of things that sound absolutely terrible and I have no interest in them whatsoever. But I'm not afraid to say yes to certain experiences, at least just to give them a try, and then I can make the call for myself. Like hiking the Grand Canyon, rim to rim to rim. Like going skydiving, like going paddleboarding with sharks. Like all the things that we've done, like I'm willing to try it, everything's risk reward, right? But you got to be able to say no to certain things, and you got to be able to say yes to certain things, and say yes to yourself. Like, yes, you need a day off, or, no, you don't need a day off. You got to get your ass up and put in the work, whatever it is. Whether you tend to be an overworker or an underworker, if you're a self-motivated person or you're a complete lazy ass. That's why I say it comes down to self-awareness and self-care. And sometimes escapism is needed and relaxation is needed, but for a lot of people, man, they're escaping a lot and they're relaxing a lot. And I think they'd be better off just putting in some work and really just planning and programming out the things that matter the most to them. Number 9, be kind to yourself. I think this goes without saying, but a lot of people aren't. That ties into obviously the way you speak to yourself and about yourself, whether it's to yourself or to others. But you got to be kind to yourself. And I'm a realist. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm bad at. I try to surround myself with people who are, have complementary gifts to mine. Where, my wife has a similar skill set to me, but also very, very, very different. Monica, who's like my right hand here, who sits literally, if you're watching on YouTube, I think she's about 7 feet from me here total, socially distanced, of course. But, she has a skill set that complements mine. I'm the front of the house person, whether I like it or not, and I've gotten way better at it. She's the back of the house person. I'm a creative idea person, as she is as well, but she'll clean up my abstract, random shit ideas in the world and put them together and make them look cute and, approachable to the world. And the point of me sharing that is, I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm bad at, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan of myself. I have to believe in myself. I have to be nice to myself and the effort I'm putting in. I can't be overly critical of what I'm terrible at, because I suck at a lot of things, and that's okay. And I punt them to other people who can fix them and make them look better. So then I look like I'm a badass to the world, even though they're the ones helping me do a lot of the work. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, man, Jeremy, you don't know how to use that Adobe whatever. I don't even know the programs anymore. And again, if Matt Sizemore is out there helping me with all my Infusionsoft stuff, I'm not going to hate myself oh my god, I don't know how to do this. I'm having him to do it. Well, yeah, I can do certain things, but I'm not going to hate on myself and be overly negative because I don't have the same skill set he does. He's good at that. And Matt helps us with so much of our internet back-end things. So I'm a fan of me. I got a lot of great skills. I'm talented at what I'm talented at, and I suck at what I suck at. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Jeremy, you need to learn how to do everything. It's not possible. I can learn things, but I can't master 14 different tasks. It's not realistic. I can't expect to be great at everything. It's not possible. Something's going to suffer. And so I'm not going to beat myself up and be like, oh man, you should be leaner, you should be more muscular, you should eat better, you should put out, more videos here, No. I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and I try to improve that every single day and every single week, and that's all any of us can really do. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to fuck up things. In fact, in this program, in our face melter program, I actually have to write this down. I almost forgot. So here's a side note here. And that's why I don't beat myself up over it, because I'm not perfect and I mess up a lot of stuff. So this face melter program these guys are in right now, it's the first time we've ever ran it, ever, by the way, so I need to preface it by saying that. And here's how we typically deliver. We'll deliver the program. They get everything. Obviously, we share it in the private Facebook group. They get it via email. They get the video and the written description. And so I made this. I wrote all the copy for this in a day. I think I stayed home for 6 hours one day and just worked on the copy. And so what I mean the copy is the body of the emails that they're getting. So we give them the workout video. I talk them through it. They can watch the video of the movement patterns. And then in the written caption, I'll describe the video. Similar to Instagram, just way more detailed. And so I'll write out the workout. And the workout was a countdown flow. So it's 14 skater hops in 1 burpee. Then you go 13 skater hops in 1 burpee, 12 skater hops in 1 burpee, all the way down to 0. And they take a rest and they repeat the pattern. Well, again, my genius brain wrote 14 burpees and 14 skater hops, countdown. And then you'd go 13 skater hops and 13 burpees if you read it. Now, if you watch the video, you would see something was wrong. The problem is some people didn't watch the video and they just start reading the caption and they start doing this, burpee countdown with 300 burpees instead of 30. And so that's a mistake by me, clearly. And between 14 burpees and 1 burpees is a pretty big fuck up. And that's me. I can't blame anybody else, even if Monica had written it. It's my program, and it's my mistake. So I take extreme ownership and accountability. But that actually was my mess up. That was 100% on me, actually. And I can't feel bad about it. It's an honest mistake, and that's something that we'll fix for the next program. And typically these programs, we run beta versions, but because the world has been, less than ideal for us in-person business owners, we've had to, speed things up a little bit with these online programs. So you guys are getting some fun surprises. And so it's something I just have to laugh at. But again, I can't be overly critical. I can't hate myself. And I guess got to be nice to myself. Hey, man, you're not perfect. It's very humbling for sure. And this whole thing, has been. And I like to feel like I'm a humble person no matter what. But during this, you feel it more than ever because I have a nice space here that I created for myself and for all the people who come in here and support us, and we love training with them and kicking their asses and kicking my own ass and kicking our asses together inside this facility. And at the moment, we can't do that because it's, in Arizona, you can't be in the gym for right now. And having to go back to the parks at 5:15 in the morning, and I'm doing these workouts with these guys, which are beating my ass, and I'm not, it's not ideal for sure. It's super hot, it's super sweaty, it throws off kind of my day and schedule, but I'm happy to do it for the people who are willing to wake their ass up and do it. I feel very blessed and fortunate, but it's humbling too, because I'm like, well, man, I got this super dope building down the street I bought, and I'm out here doing, fucking sprints in the park. And as great as it is, it's a humbling thing to be like, man, you know what? I'm still out here in the trenches. I'm still out here grinding, and I have fun doing it. It's, probably not the ideal setting, but it is fun. It is nice to be back hanging out with those guys, doing these workouts with them. So, you're not removed from it. So you feel their pain in real time. Just like, they're going through, you're going through it with them, which is kind of cool. Because in a normal day, I don't have the opportunity to do that here because there's too many groups and there's too many, people going on. And if I'm exhausted by 6 a.m., then I can't really, help the other, 50, 100 people who walk in the door. But it's a humbling thing. And so the takeaway is you just have to be kind to yourself, and you can't talk down about yourself, and you can't hold yourself to an unrealistic standard because none of us is perfect. No matter how much we try, whether you're a parent, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your nutrition or your fitness or anything else you're doing, you're going to make mistakes. And to err is to be human and to learn from them and try to make improvements moving forward. That's all any of us can really do. And so don't be your own worst enemy, especially if you're a female. I love you guys. Most of you are beautiful. You're much stronger than us men, mentally and physically in a lot of ways. But you're so critical of yourselves when you step on the scale. And if you gain a couple pounds, or if you have some cellulite, or if your clothes fit a little bit tighter, you're so negative. And I'm generalizing here, but I work with so many women, so I can say this. Like I've lived through it. This is from experience. Like you guys are like, you talk down about yourselves, and you're not kind to yourselves with the effort you've put in, and you're overly negative. And I don't understand why. Like, because you're human. Like, and you don't have to hold yourself to this unrealistic standard and this crazy metric that I assume other women put on you, because if you have a dude in your life, I'm pretty sure he doesn't give a shit. We're dudes, we're savages, we're predators. We like you even if you stink and you're wearing your pajamas. We probably still want to have sex with you because we're just men, and that's kind of how I'm wired. Like my wife, I think she's her most attractive in like the most random weird moments, and she can't understand it. But I'm like, it's not about the makeup you put on, and if you weigh this or you weigh that, or I don't give a shit. Like I love you for you, like as the whole. And I just think sometimes women are overly critical, and they make themselves out to be way worse in their mind than they actually are in person. And so ladies, don't do that, because we love you, even when you don't maybe love yourself as much as you should. So that's my little side note there, because I work with a lot of amazing women who are they're beautiful, and sometimes the things they write and say, I'm like, you guys are a little crazy, because you already look great. So stop being so critical of yourselves, because you're doing great, even if you don't think you are. Number 10, let go of what you can't control. Like my old man used to say, control your controllables. And so that's all we can do, man. Especially right now during this shit. We can't control this. Lord knows I've wanted to, but I've come to the realization that I can't. No matter what I want to do, this shit's out of my control, dude. I can't control when we open here. All I can do is, put people in the best position to be successful when they do. I can't control the economical impact this has had on our brick and mortar business. But what I can control is the internet and how many people I touch and reach, and our internet programs, and making those the most badass thing possible and delivering to them and touching people there. And it's hard to do, man. It's hard, this is a side note for me, and I've talked to, again, I've mentioned this before, a lot of our gym friends, they're watching their businesses crumble. And a lot of them are, on life support, and a lot of them are dead. They're not coming back, and they're maybe going to be in the same career, just working for somebody else in a gym setting, or maybe they're going to switch careers altogether. And it's hard to let that go. It's hard to let go of the shit you can't control. It's hard for me here. I can't serve people, and there's nothing I can do for a lot of them. So it's like, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose revenue. You're going to lose members. If I could do a whole podcast on the amount of money we fucking lost here in the last 5 months, and it would be the most depressing thing ever if I run through all the numbers, even on the low end. If I run like on the high end, I might have a breakdown if I really read into it. And it sucks, man. But I got to let that shit go because I can't control it. The 5 months is gone. It's not coming back. Some of the people who are gone, they're not coming back. All the events I had planned, all the meet and greets, all the corporate stuff, all just the normal Saturdays or just the normal scheduled stuff we had to come here to make money, the groups, the camps, all fucking gone. Done. Never making that money back because the time is gone. I can't go back 5 months in time, but I got to let that go. And I only can control what I can control. And that is this, doing as many quality podcasts for people, checking in with people as best we can, showing up my ass up in the park at 5:15, and just over delivering as much as we can in the ways that we know how for right now. And it's not super fun, but if I sat, and tried to live in the rear view during this, it would mentally cripple me. And there's probably a couple of days where I did that, and just puts you in this like stressful, shitty state, and that's not a place anybody can thrive and be. And so luckily I was able to snap myself out of it, pretty quick. And so now I'm just kind of like at peace with all the shit, and I'm just like, you know what? All I can do is, it's like you're watching a glass fall from 50 feet away, and you really want to be able to sprint over there and grab that glass before it hits the ground, but I can't. And I just got to let the glass fall and pick up the pieces, when they do, and go from there. It's kind of how I look at this whole situation, honestly. And so I am eerily at peace with the shit storm I'm currently sitting in. So it'd be like you're sitting in like, 4-foot pool of shit, and you want to get out of it because it's gross and it smells and you hate it, but you're just kind of stuck in it, man. So, crack a whiskey and make the best of it. Number 11, stay away from drama and negativity. Tattoo this on your face for life. Stay away from drama and negativity. This is for everything. That's why I don't watch the news, because I don't believe a lot of it. And I think most of it's drama filled. It's panic porn. It's negative. I don't associate with people who talk about negative shit and drama. I have no part of it. Nobody who comes here does that. And if they do, we get rid of them pretty quick. I don't have friends like that. Anybody in any of my social media channels who's pumping that propaganda shit gets immediate block or snooze for 30 days. Anybody who says anything negative to me on any of our pages anymore gets immediately blocked, restricted, done. Comments deleted, they're blocked. I have no time for it whatsoever. Back in the day, we used to do things in hopes of like educating people and leaving them on there. But now I'm going to stance at this. Like, if anybody says anything negative about anything that I do at all, or my wife, or anything, any comment I make, any video I put out, I immediately block them from my life. And people are like, well, Jeremy, why would you do that? Why wouldn't I? I'm giving out so much free shit between Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Tumblr, email, podcast. Is that everything we do? Our blog, that's 9. I'm sure I'm forgetting one. That's 9 different channels that we put stuff out every day for free. Every day we put out things on 9 different platforms for free to help people and asking nothing in return. If we sell something like a 47-day, we say, hey, if you want to enroll in it, check it out. Any questions, just ask. I don't tell you you have to buy it. We're giving away free shit on 9 platforms every day. And you have the audacity to follow me and comment and, try to bring some negative drama bullshit in my life, blocked. I have no time for it. I have no time for trolls. I have no time for anything. It's hard enough just to reply back to all the people with positive messages, let alone deal with these negative people spewing horseshit. Nah, man. There's nothing for that, especially during this season of life. Like when you have no idea, like what I've had to do to keep this fucking train rolling. Like I just can't even entertain it for a split second. And so for all of you listening, if you have negative friends, family members, co-workers, neighbors, social media people, the news, whatever it is, stay away from drama and negativity. Stay away from things that make you feel stressed, that raise your heart rate, that put you in a bad headspace. If you're reading something and it makes you feel shitty, stop reading that crap. If you're watching videos and it makes you feel terrible, stop watching that stuff. Be educated for sure. Pick the sources you need that you actually trust, which there's very few out there. But don't surround your brain and your mind and your heart with drama and negativity. Life is way too short for that. And then the last thing I'm gonna leave you with is just love. The 12 steps to self-care. The last one I'll leave you with is just love, man. Love yourself. Love the people that are important to you. Love the people closest in your life. Spread it and be able to receive it just the same. Spread it to the people who need it. Spread it to the people that are closest to you and that you believe in, and receive it from them as well. And that might be simple. It might be just loving your dog. And that thing loves you back like crazy. Love your wife, love your husband, love your kids, love your close friends, love your family members, love the people who believe the same things that you believe. As long as you have like this common goal to make the world a better place than you found it, I think you're gonna be okay. But you have to be able to give love, and you also equally have to be able to receive it, to have a dope ass life. And I believe that. So those you guys are the very, basic 12 steps to self-care. I think my wife found these over on Muno Men's on Instagram, I believe. But she shot this over, and admittedly I was super tired today and didn't want to do this, and I'm still exhausted. I'm actually even more tired right now. But I thought it would be important for all of you to hear it, especially now during this, and hopefully we're on the back 9 of this shit show that we're currently in. That's my hope, and that's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. So that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm just trying to make the best of what's going on here, and I do believe self-care has always been important. And I've said this a million times. If I had lived my life a different way, if I had run this business a different way, if I did not invest my time, effort, energy, and money into the things I invest them in up to this point, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast right now. I would be drowning in a stressful storm of shit, and I don't know how I would have, gotten out from underneath it. So, and a lot of that comes down to just self-care and self-awareness, and knowing myself, and knowing, what I'm willing to chew on and what I'm not, and what makes me the healthiest, happiest, most productive person I can be. And it's living my life this way and by these basic, set of principles and set of skills. And if I can help myself, and if I can always be in a good, positive mindset, more often than not, I can help a lot of you listening. And if that's my calling and my craft, that's what I'm here to do, then I'm going to keep on doing it. As long as you guys keep tuning in and sharing it and being the most badass, awesome peeps you can be. So thank you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Just my quick ramble. Maybe I'll get Heather on tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff on the docket here, but I apologize for the delay this week. I only did one podcast this week, but I've been super busy because we're having to pivot this entire business in a really short amount of time. And it's not been the easiest thing for sure. And if I would use the word exhausted, I don't think that would do justice for how my body feels right now. I wish I could reach inside my body and hand it to you so you could feel how tired I am. But and on the same sentence, I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to do that. I'm very fortunate to be able to be this tired, that I have this much life energy, that I have this much dopamine in my fucking brain and energy to pour out to everybody and to do the things that I've done and have the friends that I have and have the athletes that support us and the people that are in our corner. And so I appreciate you guys, all of you guys who listen to the podcast and follow us on social and enroll in our coaching programs and do the things that we preach and coach. I appreciate you, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I do, and I'm glad that I can connect with you. And if you guys have never seen me or talked to me or been here, and if you get the chance to when the world's not a shit show, please come in. I'll be happy to give you a t-shirt and put you through a kick-ass workout. It's the least I can do, and that's why we do it, and that's why I keep showing up, man. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. Even if we never met, but you've listened to me ramble on for 300, 400 podcasts, just know I appreciate it, man, because Lord knows I don't want to listen to myself talk for 300 or 400 episodes, but I thank you sincerely. So again, reminder, our 47-day transformation is kicking off here in 14 days and 4 hours. Link is in my Instagram bio right now, or it's 47daytransformation.com. If you want a little podcast discount code, I'll see what I can do to make it easier for you, but I promise you that program can change your life if you let it. It really can. It's I put a lot of work into it, and I continue to do so, and there's a lot of other programs we could run that can make a lot more money, but they wouldn't change nearly as many people's lives and mindsets, and so that's why we do it. And also, my homies at Athletic Greens, as always, big sponsor of the podcast. If you guys want to try Athletic Greens, simply hit me up. I'll get you a link for the 20 free travel packs, or if you're really on the fence, I'll have Monica shoot you one right to your front door, and you can make the call yourself. But again, it is the daily all-in-one supplement. It's 75 proven whole food ingredients. You can't beat it, man. Again, it supports energy, immune system, gut health, digestion, liver function, supports the natural blood sugar levels that are already in the body. So again, it's a great way. If you're not going to eat greens every single day, 5 or 6 servings, which nobody's going to, it's an easy fix. It's got a little prebiotic, probiotic in there. Makes life better. That's why I take it every day. So hit me up, shoot you the 20 free travel packs, or I'll have Monica mail it right to your front door. Is Joe Rogan doing that? No, he's not, because he's not as crazy as us. But we'll do that for you. So I'm happy to help you guys do that, and then obviously make the call yourself. So I appreciate you guys. Stay safe, stay sweaty. Any requests on the podcast, send them over my way. I need to go lay down and maybe go in my pool. It's like 115 degrees here today. It's fucking crazy. And I'm starting to get a little delirious and lightheaded. So that is where I'm at right now. So until next, I almost forgot. If you're on iTunes right now, stop. Don't be a lazy ass. Go to the podcast app on your iPhone. Scroll your finger all the way down. Just click 5-star. Takes 10 seconds. Write a quick sentence. Jeremy, you're crazy, but we love you. I'd appreciate that. Share it with a friend or fan member who you think needs to hear something to maybe, light them up a little bit. And we'll go from there. So until next time, eat well, train hard, be nice to people, and please, you guys, keep doing shit you love with people you enjoy, because your life is too short not to. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.